All right. We are in the book of Luke. We are going to be in Luke chapter 12. What's the point of Luke? Certainty, that's right. What's the key to learning? Repetition, very good. Repetition is key to learning. Key to learning is repetition. Put your donut away, Miss Dunn. Yes, so we are going to be in Luke chapter 12. Let's do a quick rundown here. All right. Chapter 1, hoping. Why is it hoping?
Hoping that Jesus will come.
Yeah, it's hoping in the Messiah, right? Everything is pointing towards there's a Messiah that's coming. And we come to planning. What's the point of planning? That's right. Jesus is preparing it for earthly life. He gets born in chapter 2. He also goes to the temple in chapter 2. Chapter 3, what happens when you're actually preparing? He's baptized, right? He's actually getting baptized. He is doing what is required for righteousness, right? You guys remember this? So John the Baptist is preparing the way, and he gets baptized as Jesus. Then, chapter 4, what happens?
He starts in liberty.
You first.
He starts his sermon and starts preaching.
Love it. Whitney?
Jesus came to proclaim liberty with the good news.
Boom. Both are true. Preaching is the point, and he is authoritative in his preaching, right? People are shocked. It's like, this guy doesn't teach like the other guys. He actually talks like he has the authority. He is preaching the good news. He's there to proclaim. Absolutely. Chapter 5, cleansing. What's Jesus cleansing?
Jesus calls Levi, who is a tax collector, and Jesus also cleanses the law.
Yeah, there's one more in there. Huh? Well, the spiritual is Levi.
Disciples?
What?
Yes, his first disciples.
Yeah, but there's one more cleansing that I'm looking at. Marin?
He heals a bunch of people.
What? The law was what Whitney said. What did you say?
He heals a bunch of people.
He heals a bunch of people. You guys remember that? You got a leper. And lepers, you can't have those big cats prowling around the temples, right? Because that's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys awake?
Mm-hmm.
That's a joke, you see, because
Yes.
leper sounds like leopard. Mm-hmm. There we go. All right, we're waking up. It's okay. Lepers, right? They have to run around going, unclean, 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 and they can't be with normal people. Jesus heals the leper. He heals the blind man. He heals the person who can't walk, right? You guys all remember this? Yes? And so he's cleansing people. He's cleansing them of both physical ailments as well as spiritual ailments, because Levi the tax collector, very good. And he's cleansing the law. A bunch of people are walking around here going, in order to be, right with God, you got to do all these things that the law requires.
You have to wash your hands.
Yeah, and it's like, no, I'm not going to wash my hands. Yes, you do. Yes, you do have to wash your hands, boys. So cleansing. Foundations. Huh? Build your house on the rock, right? Jesus is starting his teaching ministry here. He's actually going through step by step, and he says you need to have core foundational principles. And if you build your house on sand, you're going to fall. But if you build your house on the rock, you will live. Realization. Chapter 7. What's happening there?
The disciples realize that he's actually like the Messiah kind of.
Yeah, exactly. People are starting to realize, oh, this dude might be who he says he is, right? The big event here is that in this chapter, he silences the winds, right?
Even though cleansing was 2 chapters away.
Exactly, but he clearly has authority over the winds and the waves, and so the disciples go, oh, who's this guy who even the winds and waves obey him? The point there is not that they're actually asking, right? It's a rhetorical question. They know that if you control the winds and the waves, who are you?
Who's that?
Starts with a G, ends with an odd, right? You're God. So they're starting to realize. Even Herod starts realizing this too, right? He's like, what?
She said Gabby because she was Herod and
Of course, as we all know. No, I wasn't there for that.
Dude, come to Music Mania. It's actually so fun.
Sometimes Winston has 2 things on the calendar and has to choose one, okay? I'm a finite person. I can only be in one place at a time. So that's the realization. Chapter 8, refining. What's happening there?
He calms the storms.
He does that in chapter 8 or chapter 7?
He does it No, is it refining?
Yeah. Yep. We're doing refining right now. So Jesus is teaching in parables so that
He does. You're right. That one does tie. You're so right. I'm wrong. Realization. I'm sorry. Realization starts happening with John the Baptist saying, like, "Are you actually the dude?" So I'm sorry. I mixed those up. So chapter 8, you're absolutely right. But in the refining, what is he doing?
he teaches in parables so only like true believers will follow.
That's right. He's speaking in code. Exactly. He's starting to sift down the people, right? He's clearing out the chaff who are there just to eat, right? Because he's doing feeding the 5,000 in chapter 9, which is his biggest miracle, and people are just trying to show up so that they get, their physical needs handled. But he's there for a much deeper reason, right? Chapter 9. Pivotal.
Everything around Jesus changes.
That's right. Yeah, Jesus starts foretelling his death. Not everything is sunshine and roses and puppies and unicorns, right? Things are going to happen, you guys, and I'm going to die. And they're like, no. Like, we just fed 5,000 men, as well as probably another 7,000 to 8,000 women and children. Like, no, what are you talking about? Everything's great right now. And Jesus is like, all right, everything's going to change. And so this is when his ministry starts doing a little bit of a nosedive in terms of popularity. It's starting to get really on the nerves of the Pharisees, of the religious leaders, of the scribes. And so it's pivotal. Chapter 10. Huh?
The Good Samaritan missing the point.
That's right. People are missing the point, right? And so you have the Good Samaritan. The point is, this guy's like, what must I do to be saved? And it's like, you just need to, love people. And he's like, yeah, but do I have to love everybody? Like, who's my neighbor? Who is actually my neighbor? It's like, the guy who's right in front of you is your neighbor, right? Go love that guy. And so you have the Good Samaritan, somebody who's hated, somebody who they really didn't like. He did the right thing. You also have another story there. That's right. Mary and Martha are there. Mary doing the right thing. Sitting, being with Jesus, right? Doing the right thing. Martha's doing a lot of work for Jesus. Is that doing the right thing?
No.
No. She's missing the point. And so they need to reorient. The other story there is that the 72... What? Yeah.
Disciples were like, we can do miracles.
Yeah, right? We cast out demons. How cool is that? And Jesus is like, cool, but you know what the point is, right? The point is not the Fast Pass ticket, right? It's what the Fast Pass ticket does. And so he has to reorient their thoughts. Chapter 11, hypocrisy. Huh? The Pharisees, Whitney? Lord's Prayer is also in there, yeah. So 11 and 12. 11 starts with, what is actually supposed to be the core of a Christian's life. The prayer, Lord's Prayer, happens here. But the hypocrisy happens because people are not actually communing with God. They don't see God as their Father. They don't see Him as hallowed. They don't see Him as somebody who is worthy of praise. Instead, everything is moralism. Everything is just, if I'm a good person, God will love me, right? And so they perform all these outer good deeds, but on the inside, what are they?
Inward.
On the inside, they're not inward. Dirty. On the inside, they're dirty. They've cleaned the outside of the cup. You guys remember that term that Jesus uses? You've cleaned the outside of the cup, but you didn't clean the inside of the cup. That's disgusting, right? I had to clean my coffee cup this morning, right? Because on the outside, it looked fine, but then I opened it, and it was like death spewed out. So I had to clean the inside of the cup.
You're going to taste the juice in your milk.
Yeah, I don't want juice in my milk. So, hypocrisy. Then, we're in chapter 12. Chapter 12 is about treasuring, and we saw a little bit about this last week. We have acknowledging Christ before men, right? If you're ashamed of Christ, Christ will be ashamed of you, right? And same with the parable of the rich fool, right? Eat, drink, be merry. I've stored up all this food for myself. And then what happens? Guy dies. So what was the point of storing up all that food for himself rather than storing up treasure in heaven? You guys got it? Yes? Parables. How do you interpret a parable? How do you, reason through a parable?
You listen it.
You do.
Get in, get out.
Thank you, Leah. Yes, you get in, You get the point, and then you get out of Dodge as fast as possible, okay? The reason I say that is because some people will take that rich fool parable, and they'll be like, see, this is why you shouldn't have a savings account. This is why you shouldn't invest in a 401k. And it's like, that's not the point of the parable of the rich fool, right? The point of the parable of the rich fool is this guy has all this abundance, all this goodness. He builds new houses for this new stuff, and then he sits back so that he can be lazy, right? That's not the point. He has no direction towards God. He doesn't have any desire to use that food in stores for other people. So he is just selfish, right? It's different from saying you shouldn't plan ahead, you shouldn't have financial security, things like that. Get in, get the point, get out. Fair? Yes? Great. It brings us to our passage today. We're going to do a pretty small passage today, and the reason being is especially for this age group, junior hires, okay? I can't tell you how much I love junior high ministry. If I can be buried in these floorboards, it'll be a good day, right? This is my goal. I love junior high ministry, and I love junior high ministry because myself, junior high changed my life. Right? I went from being kind of like a cultural Christian and like, oh yeah, I believe in Jesus, and I know he died for me, and I believe I was saved, to all of a sudden it clicked in my head, oh, when I follow Jesus, I have to give up everything else. Everything became real in junior high. And so I'm so blessed that I get to be involved in that same, hopefully, realization for you guys. Abby, I think, has a similar, junior high meant a lot to her, right, in her life. Holly, same thing. Holly actually got saved in junior high. And so it's very, very providential, I guess would be the word, that the same time that your brains are starting to develop, like to be able to think through these deep, really strange, emotional problems, that you're also put in a class that's 2 years worth of people. It's a very small group for church, right? We have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have a small group, which means we're going to be very tight-knit during these times. And it's great. And during that time, I hope that you guys are wrestling with these things, because I'll tell you, and I should have asked Holly permission, but she's told these stories before, but like, when Holly was in junior high, she was very, very worried, very anxious all the time. Like, she would wake up in, like, basically panic attacks and, like, hyperventilating and, like, not able to control her fear that she has about, she didn't even remember, right? But she would just freak out, whether it be the next day for school, or their parents were splitting up, maybe it's that, or maybe it's, some random thing that's happening, some existential dread that is happening to her. And one of the cool things about Christianity is that it is so not you-focused, which is unlike any other religion. Every other religion is you working your way towards God, right? Every religion. If I do good things, God will love me. But Christianity tells the truth that, like, you're bad at that. And in fact, every good thing comes from God, and God is here to bless you mightily for his glory. And one of those things is freedom from anxiety, freedom from worry, freedom from stress. And so, what does this word anxiety actually mean?
Anxious.
It means anxious, yes. Thank you, dictionary.com.
Worry.
Worry. Yeah, anxiety, worry. What else? Any of you ever been worried? Anxious? Kylie, thank you. Yeah, that is. What? No? Now, me, I'm a very laid-back person. Very, very laid-back person. But even I worry. And so, we have to address this because Jesus commands us not to be anxious, not to worry. Which means if I am, what am I? I'm a sinner. You guys think that being worried, being anxious, if Jesus commands it, you guys realize that that's a sin, right? Now, hold on. Let's read it. And he said to his disciples, verse 22, and he said to his disciples, "Therefore I tell you, do not be anxious about your life, what you will eat, nor about your body, what you will put on. For life is more than food, and the body more than clothing." Pause. Just in that.
What verse are we in? Sorry.
22. Just in that. Do you guys buy the premise that to be anxious is to be in sin? It's okay if not. Just want to talk through it. Anybody say that anxiety is not a sin? We all good? Anxiety is a sin? It's okay to disagree with me on it occasionally, I promise.
just don't understand why.
You don't know why it is a sin?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So we're going to answer that. But you understand that it is, even if you don't understand the why behind it.
Sure.
Great. That's okay. Sometimes, like, I'll be honest, disobedience to parents, I'm like, well, why?
No, that one's reasonable.
Why is that reasonable, Grace?
Because that's like, if it's already bad, like, even without it being a sin.
Well, I could say, this is Jesse's point. Like, I'm okay with accepting that it's bad, but why?
God says.
Yeah, that's enough of a reason. But usually, like murder, there's like some externalities to it that it's like, okay, this is bad for multiple reasons. But ultimately, the best reason is because God says. But Jesus here gives us reasons why anxiety is sinful. And I'll tell you right now, you guys live in the most anxious generation ever. Ever. Which is wild. Because you have the most things taken care of for all your life. It doesn't make any sense. Like, you guys, you can go to Chick-fil-A tomorrow, right? And everything will be fine, right? You don't have to worry about what you'll eat because you'll just go find it. But, like, for literally all of human history up until the last, 5 minutes, you've had to worry about, okay, I need to make sure that I plant these seeds now so that in 9 months I can reap a harvest. Do you guys know what you're doing in 9 months? Anybody? What are you doing in February of next year?
Eating Chick-fil-A.
Watering my
Celebrating my
plants.
brother's birthday.
Watering my plants, though.
Eating Chick-fil-A.
Are you guys doing anything right now for 9 months from now?
Maybe signing up for a job.
Doing school.
Job
School.
applications.
School, great.
You're doing school, but school's not just for 9. I'm talking about for an event 9 months from now.
School. It's actually, that is
We're gonna be
that long.
Like, what will I be doing 9 months from now?
Yeah.
at church. Probably.
Watering
What are you doing
It
right
depends.
now?
Is it a Sunday, a Saturday?
What are you
or a
doing
Wednesday?
right
What
now
time is it?
for something
No.
9 months from
What
now?
time is it?
Oh my.
Wednesday. We're
Oh,
probably
no,
at
I know what I'll be doing. In February, I'm going to competition.
Great. So you're doing things now to prepare for said competition.
Yeah.
Right? Fair?
kind of
Okay.
like what an Olympian does. They
Yeah.
train for the Olympics and then they go.
Exactly. I did this literally yesterday. I had a date marked on the calendar for when I was going to be running my Spartan race, right? If I had just showed up to do the Spartan race, no training, I guarantee you I would have failed, right? I had to start training well in advance. Grace has to train well in advance. If you guys have testing that's going on, you got to train for it, right? You got to get ready for it. But here's the thing. If you fail, Grace, if you don't do well in your competition, right? What happens?
The whole team will be mad at me.
Yeah. But you'll be okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If I didn't cross the finish line yesterday, would I still be okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. If I fail my testing, it's a little bit more serious, right?
Probably you'll go back to a grade or two.
Probably got to go back a grade or two, right? Kindergarten was like a rough 3 years for me anyway, so I'm hoping I don't have to. But you guys get what I'm saying? Like, if I fail the test, right? Even SAT testing or Iowa State testing, whatever you're doing, if I fail that, what happens?
Go back. It doesn't
You
matter.
get disciplined.
But you go back and you just do it again, right?
Do you want to
You can't
though?
do state testing again.
Yes, you can. You
I
just
can.
get
You
it done. And even still, can I still go to college even if I didn't score well on my tests?
Not good
Yes, you
college.
can.
Go to college.
Can I still go to college? So what you're saying is I can still go to college.
Can you go to
Like a
Harvard
scam
if you got like terrible grades in high school?
I mean,
Probably not.
Some good
But do you guys see what I'm saying? Like you can, you guys can still get done what you need to get done. If I fail at producing a crop in 12th century England, what happens to my family?
You die.
Just go buy some food.
Is that a little bit more serious than going into a less good college?
Yeah.
Is that a little bit more serious than my teammates being mad at me?
No.
You guys see the difference in what people have had to worry about from now as opposed to 100 years ago? It's a little bit more serious. And yet, your guys' generation, my generation, Abby's generation, because Abby and I are different. I was her youth leader, so technically different. We are so worried. We are anxious about everything. And as a result, we've become the most medicated generation of all time. In fact, the American Medical Association says that medication allows us to manage our anxiety.
Why do you need to do that?
These people are very anxious. But all that modern science, modern new age practices can provide you is the ability to manage your anxiety. Jesus promises freedom from your anxiety. Freedom from your anxiety. Let's read what he says. Verse 23, "For life is more than food, and the body more than clothing. Consider the ravens. They neither sow nor reap. They have neither storehouses nor barn, and yet God feeds them. Of how much more value are you than the birds?" And so anxiety, worry, stems from some key misunderstandings. A lot of these I stole from John MacArthur, but I used a couple of different words because I thought they'd be more clear. Firstly, it misunderstands God's, and by this I'm going to say misunderstandings of divine. The first one here is priority. You guys ever, there, I'm sure, plenty of games out there that have, like, different power ratings for, like, things that you fight, right? So, like, for instance, Minecraft. Who's played any game of Minecraft ever? Excellent. Okay. Phew. All right. Animal is rushing towards me. It's charging at me with all its might.
Animal? What animal?
What
And it's a
animal
chicken.
does that?
You mean
A chicken
Are you
jockey?
kidding me? They run away.
Chicken jockey.
If I bop it on the head, what happens?
They run away.
It bounces back and it still tries at you.
It turns into a feather.
It doesn't die.
Okay.
It's
How
a
many
ton.
bops does it take to kill a chicken?
Like
If you have
two.
another, it's sort of enchanted sharpness.
What about a
of
cow?
4.
Still, you can't hit it with one shot.
How many bops on the head
With
does
an
it take
axe
to
you
kill a
can't.
cow?
Like 3.
If you like jump
Just
up
two?
fast, then
Like
So
three.
chicken and cow, same amount?
No,
You mean
it's
like
like
with your
3 or
hand?
4.
Yes!
Oh, with your hand.
Which one's harder
With
to
your
kill?
hand?
Which one's
Cow.
harder to kill?
Cow.
Chicken or cow?
Cow.
Thank you, Marin. Unbelievable. You guys are just want to argue with me on every little point.
Never right. Yeah.
Which one's harder to kill?
Cow.
Cow is harder to kill,
Chicken.
right?
Unless you don't.
Which one gets you more resources?
Chicken.
Chicken.
Yeah.
The health count is insane.
Huh? Cow gets you more resources.
No,
leather.
roast the chicken.
No.
No,
and the
you
chicken
get leather.
has 4.5.
You get
He's
the
saying
Well, the cow has
resources.
4.
You can get.
You get so much more meat from a chicken than a cow.
Anyway, in real life, how hard is it to kill a chicken? How hard is it to kill a cow?
The
Just stomp on the chicken.
Stomp on the chicken.
Can run away. The cow can't run that fast.
Let me. I promise you, killing a chicken way easier
Mark,
than
you
chicken.
could just
Unless
take
you're
a gun
like
and
a
shoot the cow, but then you have to like
Oh,
fight.
If I have a gun, I can shoot the chicken. What are you talking about?
What if the chicken is running too fast?
Do you know how fast cows can run? What are you talking about?
Horse.
Is it a
Not
shit?
as long
Wait.
This went way off the rails.
No, cows are a bigger target.
Good
Cows are a bigger
grief.
Is it
Oh,
a
my
shampooed
word.
cow or a non-shampooed? If
Oh.
it's shampooed, it's gonna be easier.
Chickens can run
If it's
without
not,
heads.
it's gonna be
The
hard.
point
Cows
being,
don't.
That's true. Chickens don't need their heads for like a couple
Guys.
birds don't make clothes. Yes?
Yes, they do.
Great, we can agree on something. No, they don't.
A feather attack.
That's not the skin is not my clothes. What are you talking about? Birds don't make clothes. Birds make houses. Yeah. Do they store a whole bunch of food for winter in there? No, they do not. Right? What's the point of an analogy?
Get in, get out.
Point.
That's a parable.
And parable. A parable is an analogy. Same thing. Okay. If God takes care of the birds who die in like a year or two,
My neighbor has a chicken that's 9 years old.
that's the point of an analogy, Kylie.
Understand it.
Get in,
Jeez.
get out.
Get in and stay long.
If you misunderstand the point of what Jesus is saying here, you will think yourself less valuable than birds. One pastor put it this way, that you are too important to be worried. You are too important to God to be worried. The amount of glory God can reap out of you is much higher than what God can reap out of a bird. Jesse, so help me.
So, if you plan something in advance,
Yes.
isn't that technically anxiety because you're gonna have to like plan all this stuff for it and do this and that?
That's not anxiety.
Excellent question. Let's keep reading and we'll find out.
That's not anxiety. We need school.
Let's keep reading and find out. That is an excellent question, Jesse. Pin it, and we'll come back to it. So, birds, we misunderstand our divine priority. Secondly, and which of you, by being anxious, can add a single hour to his lifespan? If then you are not able to do as small a thing as that, why are you anxious about the rest? Okay, you guys get what Jesus is saying here?
Yes.
If I worry really, 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 really hard about what I'm having for lunch later today, is that going to change me eating lunch later today?
Maybe if you
If you work
ask
so
your
much,
parents.
lost your
What
appetite.
if I worry really, really, really hard